the creepy boys on the side.
Yeah. They don't want to look up forward.
Okay, how are we doing here? This looks okay. Right? Do we all feel okay about this? Good. Glad. So we want to stand over here and talk about the next suspect in the Dames murder, but I want to talk about it by this building specifically because this was also a purpose-built funeral parlor. This is the second funeral parlor in town where you could be cremated.
Big old pipe in the
Which, if you ask me, is a lot better than getting your guts filled with formaldehyde. Just saying.
Was this around the same time as Logan?
Yeah, it was a little bit later than Sweet. So this one was built with these big grand pillars here to reflect the architecture of Old City Hall across the street. So it was built a number of years later. It's really hard to reflect the architecture across the street because that thing is just an amalgamation of a lot of different weird architectural details. That building was actually designed by a wagon maker, y'all. This was like his first fucking design. He made wagons to cross the Oregon Trail, and they're like, okay, sounds good. There's actually an exact replica of this building, and actually it came before ours in Saginaw, Michigan. They have a city hall that looks exactly like ours, and those are the only two alike in the country. Kind of cool. Dames and murder and mayhem and axes, blood. So the next suspect in the Dames murder is a man named Frank Romendorf. And Frank Romendorf, the details that we have about his suspectness come a couple of years later, about around when that Seattle Times article was written, and that was because there weren't a lot of details that came out. As we said, they were trying to pin it on a lot of people. They did not have any proof to go on. They had one piece of evidence, which was his bloody shirt. Okay, so Mr. Romendorf is from Maple Falls, Washington, and what we have pieced together, and these are some more details that we know to be true now. Frank Romendorf goes home to lay low in Maple Falls, Washington for a year or two before all of these details follow. Romendorf lives on a ranch with his wife, his two daughters, and his son. And this later becomes known as the Romendorf Death Ranch. Okay, so he also has a neighbor named James Logan. And one dark and spooky evening, there's this huge windstorm out in Maple Falls. And the next morning, James Logan, the neighbor, goes missing. He's gone. And people think, they kind of, initially kind of like, maybe it's that Romendorf fucking creep. He's creepy, nonetheless. But they also kind of think, well, maybe Logan went down to the river to check on something, and he got swept away. It was like this major crazy flood. But Logan's boots and glasses and other belongings are left in his cabin. So probably didn't go down to the river to investigate without his boots on, just saying. So Romendorf and Logan were known to have a little spat here and there, and also Romendorf is a creepy motherfucker, as I mentioned, and so there's a little bit of maybe, questioning, but then Romendorf leaves on business, goes on business to the east side of the state, and never returns. He murdered from a hand. But nobody thought anything of it, because again, this guy's from out of state, he doesn't have any family, the guy he's talking to just assumed, yeah, he went and got his money and he hit the road. No big deal. And then fucking had his chances burned into fire and all, yeah. No, that's not what happened. So we know of those two for sure, but the Dames murder was a little bit different because this was years later. So the Dames thing had gone unsolved. Then all this shit blows up about these weird murders in the murder ranch, and suddenly people are coming forward being like, Romendorf got a butcher knife checked in across the room, right? So we're kind of maybe misremembering, maybe inflating stories. We're not super sure. Were definitely people throughout history who thought maybe Romendorf didn't do it. That was not his MO. It was to kill quietly and dispose of all of the evidence, right? Not leave, skull half chopped off across the room. So there you guys go. Take it with a grain of salt, but still, Romendorf is fucking creepy. I guess that's the moral of the story. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, it's getting a little bit late. We want to get off of the streets. I think the cows are about to come out any hour now.